The wind grew stronger, the rain crust broke and the dust lifted up out of the fields and drove gray plumes into the air like sluggish smoke. The corn threshed the wind and made a dry rushing sound. The finest dust did not settle back to earth now, but disappeared into the darkening sky. The people came out of their houses and smelled the hot stinging air and covered their noses from it, and the children came out of the houses, but they did not run or shout as they would have done after a rain. Men stood by their fences and looked at the ruined corn, drying fast now, only a little green showing through the film of dust. The Dust Bowl was a coincidence of drought, severe wind erosion, and economic depression that occurred on the southern and central Great Plains, beginning in 1933 and ending in 1940. For those 8 years, crops failed, sandy soils blew and drifted over failed croplands, and rural people, unable to meet cash obligations, suffered through tax delinquency, farm foreclosure, business failure, and outmigration. In the end, it was identified that plow-based farming in this region cultivated an unexpected yield, the loss of fertile topsoil that literally blew away in the winds, leaving the land vulnerable to drought and inhospitable for growing crops. Though, in a brutal twist of fate, the rains stopped.
It was the worst man-made ecological disaster in American history, when the irresistible promise of easy money and the heedless actions of thousands of farmers, encouraged by their government, resulted in a collective tragedy that nearly swept away the breadbasket of the nation.
The Dust Bowl and related disasters were due to a variety of ecological and economic problems such as there are more than just these two solutions to resolve the ecological aspects of disasters that we as humans contribute to. Introducing In order to provide a more sustainable approach to agriculture-related practices void of destruction, something had to be done. Silent Spring, written in 1962 by biologist Rachel Carlson, is largely credited with helping to launch the environmental movement. It fostered public concerns for pesticides and other chemical pollution of the environment. The title itself depicts a season where no songbirds could be heard, their disappearance due to pesticide exploitation. With recent uproar, various legislation was passed. The 1970s marked the first time farmers were a minority in our country. With a population of over 200 million, farmers made up only 4% of that. And when the number of farms decreased, the size only got bigger. Conservation practices really started to take hold during the 70s. Norman Borlaug won the Nobel Peace Prize in 1970 for his humanitarian efforts in countries to effectively increase yields. His work started the Green Revolution. "1990 was the beginning of a new era, information times. Information technology and precision techniques were used in agriculture as the percentage of farmers dropped to 2.6%. One farmer supplied 100 people. Through an overview of the agricultural history, erosion, water quality, crop and animal production, and management practices of landscape management, we hope to inspire both support for our current agricultural system and hope for the future.